Welcome back to Keys to the Hustle podcast. Today we'll have Mike Matich, owner and founder of Crooked Spire. You may know him as Mike for Midland as well, one of the only politicians I've seen with a mullet, inspiring really. He is real, he is honest, and I think he's copped a lot of flack lately that is not deserved. And outside of that, Crooked Spire is a great venue to hire, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Stay tuned. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Patti. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming through. I appreciate your time so much. I guess I just wanted to grab some time with you because I think you're a public figure.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think you've got a lot of valuable keys that we can steal from you. So I guess take me back. What was happening in your life when the idea of Crooked Spire came about?
Oh, okay. So look, Crooked Spire opened in 2015. So a little over 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
At the time, we were setting up a cafe space, and we were actually building. We're part of a church that was moving into that venue.
A church?
And so for the church, we were actually building a cafe for it, and I was sort of involved in helping lead that project. And so we spent a lot of our weekends there, volunteers, getting it all ready. And I said to my wife at the time, I'd love to have a crack at something like this. And she mentioned it to the director, and he pulled us in for a meeting, said, hey, listen, we were thinking of trying to run this with volunteers, but we feel it's bigger than that. And because you get our heart and our ethos, if you want to do it, you can lease it off us and give it a go. And so I was too scared to ask my accountant how I was going to afford it. Yeah. And he never asked me either. So I just signed a lease and off we went.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Happy days, I guess. No messing around there.
That's it.
Did people think you were crazy when you started and announced you were doing this venture?
Look, not so much. I think what was happening, because we spent like a year renovating the whole building because it's a huge site.
Was it an abandoned warehouse or?
It was an empty warehouse. So it was formerly like Midland Disposal. So it was a well-known army surplus building, and had been there for like years and years and years, but had been empty and derelict for about 5 years. So we sort of took it on, renovated it, but we'd have people walk past and they go, oh, what are you guys doing here? Yeah. And because we're next door to like adult shops and the brothel, we would go, oh, we're extending the brothel. And people would go, oh, shit. And so
people getting excited.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny telling people that, until someone was showing us a Reddit post where they're going, oh yeah, we heard they're extending the brothel. So people started sharing that information, which we thought was funny.
Yeah. It is funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when it opened and it was a cafe with a church attached to it, it was slightly different. Yeah. And the church was called G Centre, so it copped a lot of interesting comments.
I love that. I mean, the G Centre, I think there's like a rapper that's going through court at the moment, and his rapper name, I can't remember right now, but I'll come back to that story later.
Not for murdering the 15-year-old girl? Not that guy?
No, David? Not that guy. That's not David. It was the other guy. And he's like, Young Thug.
Oh,
and he's got like a whole lawyer representative who managed to convince the court that I think one of his songs, it wasn't about pushing Percocets. It was about pushing positivity.
Oh, pushing P?
Yeah.
Oh, tell you what, that court case is hilarious. I think it's all done now, but honestly, you've got to look it up and you've got to check it out. If you're watching the pod, you've got to check it out. Just the response in the courtroom, it's hilarious.
I mean, I knew deep down that Thug did mean truly humble under God. I knew that. Oh, cool.
It's all in the framing.
Yeah, and I think letting people run with their own narrative is also really inspiring, because I think a lot of people are worried about getting their side of the story out. When I've only recently just stopped giving a fuck, to be honest, Mike. And so I think that's really funny. And my husband, we've been together 11 years, but we got matching tattoos in Bali, I think 4 or 5 years ago. And he got it's a molecule on his neck, and
I'm glad you said neck.
It's a scientific molecule.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And people, especially in the club, especially when women don't know he's taken, they'll come up and ask him what it is, and so he's just started saying that it's his horoscope. And people suck into it, and we're like, yeah, he's really in touch with his feminine side.
Love it.
Spiritual.
I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. So I guess coming back, what did you see in Midland that others couldn't see?
You know what? I remember going to Midland, and I'd been to the Army Surplus while it had been open, and it was a really, really cool, eclectic store. My wife grew up around Midland, so she bought her Rossi boots there and her Bloodstones over the years, and you could get the old. They used to have these in all the Army Surplus, these old German military jackets, so you could buy those, and the army cargo pants and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Those would sell really well now, by the way.
They probably would.
Yeah.
And I remember going through Midland, and I went to the Midland Gate big shopping centre there, and I was amazed because there were young guys who were like 15, 16 in like white jeans with big buckles and cowboy hats.
Yeah.
And there were bogans with DBs and AC/DC shirts. And there were some very loud people just yelling random stuff on the streets.
Midland dog.
Yeah, Midland dog. And I just thought it was wild because it was my first experience of the country, where the country meets the city.
Yeah.
And Midland is very much that. It's often overlooked. People don't realise that I've had people try and tell me that, oh, look, your business services this many kilometres from around you.
Yeah.
But I know I've got regular customers who drive 45 minutes each day to come and grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Because this is their local, because they live out in the hills or they're a cocky on a farm somewhere.
Yeah.
And Midland is often, for country people, they don't necessarily like the city. So Midland's as far as they want to come. And because of that, we have some great sales figures. I believe at one stage JB Hi-Fi had the second biggest store in by sales in Perth, and so they put a second one in the same suburb, and they don't do that. We've got Midland Gate's huge. We had the number one Kmart in Kmart. Go to hide all the K-tarts working there.
Yeah.
But we had the biggest Kmart in
and
WA.
stolen stock.
Yeah, well, possibly. But also the biggest Bunnings in Western Australia. So there's a whole bunch of big things that happen out in Midland that people don't realise and we don't get credit for. And so when I walked in Midland Gate and I saw a 16-year-old kid wearing a cowboy hat, and he wasn't taking the piss, he was just happened to be in the city for whatever reason, and that was his attire. I just found that Midland had this beautiful eclecticness to it. And I'm quite an eclectic person myself, and I collect weird people. And things.
Thanks.
And and they're part of our family at Crooked Spire. So I really love that side of things. Our venue's not like other venues. It's got lots of different diversity in the room and with our clients and our staff and
venue
people.
hire too.
Yeah, venue hire as well. Sure.
Yeah, beautiful. I guess, what were some of the biggest mistakes you did in the first 12 months of opening Crooked? Or does anything really stand out? Even if
you
it's
know what? When we first opened, I remember chatting to another cafe owner, and he, and I still hadn't opened yet. And it was like, oh, I haven't worked this out. I haven't got this. And he just goes, Mike, if I look back to the first week we opened, it's embarrassing to think about what we did and operated. He said, just start. And what was cool was
just had a lunchbox for the till.
Seriously, we just had a till and a calculator. We got to that's how we operated for a few months. Yeah. And the great thing was I couldn't afford to just stop working. So I just employed a couple of randoms, an Italian barista and a girl that scared me when she first came she came and volunteered on day one, and I was like, yeah, okay, you can work. And then as we built, we just kept taking on more staff, and those two stayed with me for about 4 or 5 years.
Foster home for weirdos, Crooked Spire.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm the number one weirdo. So yeah.
Head weirdo. We love it. So what's, I guess, one of the hardest lessons you've learnt as the Crooked Spire business owner? And probably not in the last 2 months prior to.
Oh, one of the hardest lessons. Look, I think, that's a really tough question when I think about it. There's been so many lessons along the way, so many things that I'm absolutely proud of, and things and there's been times when we've had fallouts with staff, and that's been really hard. Like that can be really heavy because when it's a family business, it's they become part of the connection to you. They become part of the family. And in hospitality, we hate that word. Oh, come and join the family, because it's a bit wanky and a lot of it's really insensitive. It's insensitive, and it's not true. Like at the end of the day, yes, I'm the employer, and yes, you're a staff member, but you've got to work with people. And I'd rather work with people that I like than work with idiots. And I've been blessed that I've worked with lots and lots of people that I really, really like and love. Sometimes those relationships have broken down, and sometimes when you get the wrong person in the mix, they can poison the well. So that can be tough too. And in saying that, I can be a hard boss to work for, not in a way that I'm yelling and screaming and
not
bossing people around. No, not like that. Not like that. But I can be a little bit disorganised and those sorts of things, and that can affect people. And I think the judgment I've copped from people over the years, and I've never quite fully understood it, but I acknowledge it, so I know there's something there, is sometimes people don't feel valued by me. Oh. And
I don't relate.
Yeah, well, I struggle with it myself, but I can't. I can't disagree with someone's feelings. Like that's what they're feeling, then that's okay. And so for me, I often examine that. And so when I do have a staff member, and it happens from time to time, they'll actually go, "Hey, I'm not feeling valued by you," and I'll go, "Okay." Initially, years ago, I used to be a lot defensive about it. Yeah. Now I'm a bit like, okay, you know what? I've got a problem in this area because this comes up every now and then. Yep. So talk to me about it, and
I'll work on it.
Yeah, and just understand that I'm hearing you and I want to change it. So this part of this conversation hopefully helps.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And I mean, I don't relate in terms of, I think you make me feel very valued as a person, and not surprisingly so, but as someone who hasn't really, we haven't had a lot of deep chats. We've probably met more.
Well, can I tell you? I'll be honest with you. My heart is that I want people to feel better for having interaction with me. That's been something that's something that I've valued for years, and I really hope that I can have that. I really hope that I can do that with people. My heart is that if you interact with me, you're feeling better. I mean, I love to encourage people. I love small business. I love people having a go. I love to. I really just love people. Yeah. And so for me, that's what it's about. And, hospitality isn't a huge money earner. We make our money $5 at a time. It's really hard to make ends meet most of the time. But the kicker is it's a sexy business. It's fun. And you get to interact with so many different people.
Yeah, and all walks of life too. I really resonate with that. And I think you're doing an amazing job on creating a space where people feel that. And you're really entrepreneurial, I think, Mike. Have you thought about getting diagnosed for autism or ADHD? Because I feel like I'm talking to my people. A lot of my friends will laugh when they see this because I always think, and I haven't been diagnosed myself, it's in the works. My family know I'm working on it. But I'm quite the same. I love people. I love interacting. And no one's really said that they don't feel valued yet. But I'm sure there's been, points where I haven't put a lot of depth into somebody or interacting with somebody. And I think that might be a little bit of autism. But it's really good for business.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, it could be. And if I was to go down that rabbit hole, I would probably tick all of those boxes. But I'm happy just to be me, and I don't need the title.
Yeah, and I think I would want to get diagnosed just to know medically if I was right. But otherwise, I would just ignore the diagnosis. You're autistic. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah. That's your opinion. Cool. So I guess how do you find the balance between building profit while building community impact? Because I think you're really good at impacting the community and involving Midland and everything you do.
I look at this. You know what? When we first moved to Midland, you couldn't get a decent cup of coffee in the area.
You still can't get sushi in the High Wycombe area.
Yeah, right. Well, since we've been there, a number of cafes have opened up and they actually do a pretty decent job. Nice. For me, if I was going to go out of my way, there's Two Keys Coffee in Oxford Street. Yeah. Really little shop. Alex Cachotta is the owner there. he does a phenomenal job. Him and his small team, and they even had a $100 cup of coffee at one stage, and
Pardon?
yeah, they were doing a $100 cup of coffee, and it was next level. It was like
It has to be.
Yeah, look, it won
the cup better be made out of gold.
Well, look, the beans won like the coffee beans of the year sort of thing, and
Cool.
and it was they sell them at auction, and they're like $6,000 a kilo. And
Oh.
so and they got some great coverage from it. They were on all the shows and that sort of stuff. But fantastic, they know their coffee, so I'd definitely rate those guys. There's some other great places around. Howard's Groove in the city.
Yeah, I've been there. I love Howard's.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I believe they've got a new one opening up, which is less pretentious. So it's not trying to have a crack, but
Yeah, no, fair.
I'm not city people. I don't,
And you're too right, to be honest.
I'm out of suburbs.
The people I walk next to in your cafe are very different to the people I walk next to in the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they've got a new one opening stereo in the next few weeks, and that looks really good as well. We actually have some great coffee around Perth.
Yeah.
I actually think we rival Melbourne.
Yeah.
However, if you are from Victoria and you're a barista, we know.
Eat your heart out.
Congratulations, good on you.
Keep giving it a
Yeah.
go. I guess with regards, or off the back end of the $100 coffee cup, what inspired you to do the Suspended Coffee Initiative? And I guess you better explain to us what it is, because it's quite a big part of Crooked's identity, I'd say.
Look, it's something before we opened and before we even thought of opening a cafe, I love this concept of a suspended coffee. And so, it originated in Greece at a time of financial crisis. They decided that coffee was a human right, and so that nobody, based on how wealthy they were, should miss out on coffee. That's how important it is in that culture. And so it sort of expanded across the world. I sort of discovered it in a small coffee shop in Northbridge called, what was it, The Corner Cafe at the Piazza there. It was run by a friend of mine, Paul Trinder, and these guys did suspended coffees. And even though it's quite a high homeless area, I remember going in there one day and they had more coffees than they could give out. Yeah. And I thought, there's enough need in the area. Surely there's enough homeless coming through. Yeah. So when we opened in Midland, it's a high homeless population. Yep. We made that a bit of a priority. It was something you could do. Yeah. And one thing I think is I don't like to take credit for that, because I actually think we're just giving people an opportunity to be generous. Yeah. We're not actually the ones being generous. We are just giving people an opportunity. And over the years, I've been accused of just doing it for profit, which, you know what? You're buying a coffee for another human being, and I've had people go, but what do you give them? I go, well, I give them a coffee. Yeah, but I've paid for that. What are you giving them? No.
I'm literally giving the labour to make the coffee.
Well, you're paying for a coffee and giving it to another human. See, when you give to a charity, 90% gets swallowed up in admin costs.
Correct.
So here, 100% is you can give another human being a coffee, and I think that makes a real difference. And what that's done for us is one of the biggest compliments we ever had was a local guy in Midland named Todd, and he had a chat to me one day, and he said, when I go to the big shops, they kick me out. He goes, but when I come here, I feel like a human being. And I thought, for me, that was the biggest compliment we've ever received. And for Todd, what I noticed was he would come in, he would line up with everybody else, he'd get treated like everybody else, he'd order his coffee, he'd wait. People would start to interact and have conversation. And so we've sort of seen that barrier between just people who want to be generous and the homeless sort of erode, and now they just know each other. And look, I still love it to this day. We've given out close to 13,000 coffees over the years, and it just makes a difference for that one person in that one moment, a nice hot cup of coffee. So yeah, we love it.
I think that's a beautiful initiative too, and so recognisable. I wish a lot of other coffee places did it, only so I can coffee shop jump for free coffee.
Well, that's the thing. There's no judgment. I don't care who you are. I mean, I've had guys who've gainfully employed. Yeah. They've come in and they've actually come and said to me, "Hey, listen, I'm just really broke. I'll come and buy an extra one on the board." And I'm like, "Hey, man, it's no judgment. We don't care who you are. We don't care if you're homeless or not. If there's a coffee on the board, you can line up and just ask for it. We're not going to judge you. Yeah. You don't know people's situation, right?"
Well, if the line's going out the wazoo with real estate agents, I will be judging them.
Look, look, it doesn't happen too often.
And I think that answers the question we were stuck on before regards balancing profit and community. So I think that's a really great way to balance that. So you've really, it's impacting the community and you're making profit.
Yeah, that's
business
right.
as usual, and not an incorrect amount of profit. It's not like you've added a $3 surcharge because you're running the drive. You know what I mean? And then it says, is the suspended coffee daily?
Yeah, look, we allow each person to have one per day.
Yeah.
And if there's not one on the board, we actually say,
Have you had a cheeky bugger try?
Oh yeah, look, we actually have to write a list because staff, come in and out, or different people at the till. We have to check because there's a few people they'll grab 6 a day if they could. And so,
Frank, you were just hearing.
Shout out to you, Robbie.
If
you're watching this podcast, we know. So we'll write their names down and just to make sure that they're getting one a day. So it's fair for everybody.
Fair enough, because it's just human nature to take advantage of a good thing sometimes. So what have you learnt about homelessness and the hardship that most people don't understand? Because I feel like you've gotten a front row seat to that where you are and with your initiative and just by default, really, passion.
My thoughts on homelessness have changed after, we've been over a decade in Midland now.
You should have thrown a party. Well, you still can.
We'll probably do it.
Your party would go crazy. Like a lot of like high following people follow your Crooked Spire page. So.
Who? Like who? Like Patti Sells.
Like the Patti Sells.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Jeff Perry was there the other day.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I think you've got a stellar cast. And I'm talking to a couple of people who need a venue, and I'm trying to push them on. So I'll grab some pricing off you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Tell me, what have you learnt about homelessness?
Oh, okay. Yes, homelessness.
Yeah.
So look,
your view's different. You were saying.
Yeah, my view has changed, and it's interesting because as I chat to some of the local providers as well, I've shared my thoughts with them. I get a bit frustrated because there's a group of homeless that choose to be homeless, who have had options of getting homes or being in some assisted living, but they don't want to lose their portion of their Centrelink benefit.
Yeah, correct.
And so and some of those agencies I've talked to, and they've said, look, we agree, we get it as well, and they service these people. The people I really feel for is the unseen homeless.
Yeah.
The people who, is the single mum who's staying in a domestic violence relationship, so a kid has a roof over their head, or there's a car park just outside of Midland that's lit up at night, and women will park there, and because there's no homes for them, because it's a safe place because there's a light there.
Yeah.
It's the people that are couch surfing, to try. They're the ones that. They're the ones that I really feel for because they're unseen.
Yeah.
Look,
and they're shy and embarrassed.
Look, I've been privileged to be. I'm privileged to be on the board of Midland Meals, and so for 7 nights a week, Midland Meals feeds the homeless outside the car park in between City of Swan and behind the courthouse. They have a sea container there. It's run by this most beautiful Seventh-day Adventist minister who breaks all the Seventh-day Adventist rules to do this and make it happen.
Yeah.
And there's all these volunteers, and there's Mormons who come along and volunteer, and there's people from the community, and every night, and at the moment it's a lot busier than usual.
Yeah,
they're seeing over 100 people a night, and they're giving them burgers and protein and vegetables, and people take food home, and this is 7 nights a week. And so, you get to see people who are actually just doing it really tough out there. And so for organisations like that, I love supporting them. I love getting behind them.
Yeah.
But the guys that I know who are on the street, who choose to be there and spend their money on vices instead of being in a home, I have less empathy for them now.
Yeah.
Still treat them with respect. I still, they can still come and grab a coffee and those sort of things. But I sort of feel more for the people who are the unseen homeless.
No, fair enough. And I guess that's you've had the front row seat to all of that as well. So I find that very interesting. I'll have to come volunteer one time.
Come along. You'll absolutely have a ball.
Yeah, I don't need cameras around for that either.
No.
But if you want to plant some there later in the year for Christmas drive, we can do that. Because I think of a bunch of our office at the agency. Oh no, it's actually through my BNI. They're doing the sleeping in the car, doing it rough in the car for a night.
Yep.
And yeah, I want to get behind that.
Mm.
I guess don't know how to make that interesting. Just set a camera.
It's just you with your face on the window snoring. Yeah, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Chuck it on YouTube.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a go.
Do
but
it live. Yeah.
You should do that too. Give it a go.
Yeah, why
You
not?
and all your 7 kids.
Yeah. True.
That's a night. That's a rough night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gosh. I guess, have there been any moments where helping people has come back to help your business unexpectedly?
Look, we get a lot of kudos because we do that. We don't do it for that reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff we do that we just don't talk about because I have this. And it's not typical business. I mean, we see all the big mining companies. Oh, look at us. We're sponsoring this and we're sponsoring that and the Woodside Nippers, all those sort of things. We sponsor things and I don't ever expect anything in return. Some of the sporting clubs will, go, oh, we'll promote you. We'll talk about you. Yeah. And I'm like, yep, fine. If they want to do it, but I'm not holding them to it. I'm not really interested in it. Yeah. So, look, I love to be generous. Like I enjoy generosity and I think it's one of my values. I like to do it, but I feel like you're almost robbing yourself off from that blessing. I think the blessing is if you're holding up a placard that says, hey, look at us, we're so nice. Yeah. I think you're robbing yourself of the actual blessing that comes from doing that. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah,
I think you rob yourself of the good karma that comes from doing selfless things like that. But no, I do think it's a very valuable trait in a person, especially in today's world.
Or look, there's that argument that altruism is selfish. Like if you're helping other people, it's selfish because it makes you feel good. Yeah, it does make you feel good. So why not do it? Who cares? Both people benefit.
Yeah.
Right. So
and then on your way home, you get green lights all the way home.
Yeah, that's right.
The rewards that
the lotto
small.
ticket falls in the window.
Correct. Yeah. You win $12 that week on the lotto. There's room there.
Yeah, that's it.
You went from cafe owner to the president of Swan Chamber?
Yeah, that's right. Swan Chamber of Commerce, yeah.
So how did that happen?
Look, we call it reluctant leadership.
Okay.
I didn't want the gig. Yeah. It's one of those things you sort of fall into and I'm probably a reluctant leader I enjoy it, but I've never gone out to really chase it. Yeah. So with the Swan Chamber of Commerce, I was asked by Jerry Hanson to come and jump on the board. And I did, and I found myself sort of the middle man at the board. We would, a lot of the business owners who were on this board were would have the same conflicts every board meeting. We'd have it once a month, and they'd last for about 3 hours, and it'd be the same thing every time. And I would be in the middle, being the peacemaker, going, "Well, actually, this and this." Often they were saying the same thing, but they just wanted their voice to be louder. So. At one stage, Jerry Hanson, who's the construction boss, giant construction boss in the city, builds all the high-rise apartments, great friend of mine. Yeah. He said to me, Mike, he looked up at the board, he said, I've been president for 6 years, it's too long, you're next. I went, no, thanks, Jerry, I don't want it. Yeah. And then he was at the cafe and my wife, Renee, came in and he goes, Renee, Mike's going to be the next Swan Chamber president. And she goes, oh, okay. And she just ignored it and kept going. And then I think he just wore me down. And so
he was just relentless.
Yeah, he was just relentless, wore me down. And then sure enough, we had an AGM. I became the president. He's my vice president, still is. Yep. And he's a beautiful man. And I honour and value that friendship that I have with him. So I'm the president of the Swan Chamber of Commerce. So it sort of came about like that.
You got led into a cult and then became the leader.
Yeah.
Nice. It's the best spot to be in a cult.
Yeah, that's right. And look, and we've had some great wins and great successes with that too. So it's been a great privilege. And because I love small business and I get excited for people on their journeys, I really love it.
I think you can feel that too in majority of in all of the things you do, Mike, and especially when you post it on social media. I feel like a lot of Perth would feel an invisible connection to you because of all the community work you've done. So keep doing it.
Thank you. Look, I don't. Yeah. Okay, but that's lovely to hear. Yeah. That's lovely to hear. I don't think much of Perth knows that I exist, but that's my.
That's the imposter syndrome. I think everyone has that.
Well, the interesting on imposter syndrome, when that first weekend, we had the AGM. I became the president of the Swan Chamber of Commerce, and my wife posted something nice about me and shared that, and other people did, and the chamber announced it. That weekend, I didn't want to see anybody. I was at home and I kept getting all these congratulations messages. I couldn't look at social media.
Yeah.
It was 100% imposter syndrome. About 2 weeks after that, I got invited to the mayor's dinner, and the Governor-General was coming.
Jesus
which
Christ.
was a big deal. Right?
Yeah,
it's
huge
at
deal.
Midland Town Hall, and I'd gotten to know the mayor a little bit, and he's no longer the mayor, but a good friend.
Nice.
I remember we pulled up. It was a 6 o'clock start for 6 o'clock drinks for a 7 o'clock start. We pulled up just before 7, and as we were walking in, we're wearing the bow tie and looking all nice. The mayor comes out with all his chains, and I go, "Oh, g'day, big dog. How you going?" As you do to the mayor.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "The GG's pulling up. Get inside." And so I just freak out, and I see 2 doors, and I start pulling on these doors, and they're not opening. He goes, "Around the corner, dickhead." This is the mayor. So
Love him already.
So as I walk in, all the councillors are lined up, and I can see they're all standing there, and they're all standing up straight, and they're fixing their jackets, and I'm like, "Oh, g'day, g'day Charlie, g'day this one, g'day that one." I'm walking in, and I realised they're all shitting themselves. So I walk in, I sit down at the table, and the table I've got 2 mayors, one from Stirling, one from Canning.
Yeah.
I've got some guys from the Sikh Indian community at the table.
Nice.
Andrew Vlahov's at the next table. There's some big business dudes.
Stellar cast.
Ken White, the
cracker
federal
homo.
Indigenous minister, was there. Yeah, cracker homo. So there's like the place was full of like community leaders and volunteers and stuff.
That's so
and
cool.
I'm sitting in there, and I had this epiphany. As the Governor-General gets up, he goes, he tells this story, and he goes, as you know, Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, just passed.
Yeah.
And so I thought, my role as the head of state for Australia, I'm going to write a letter to the Queen.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You know what, blow it. I'm going to phone the Queen."
Oh.
And then he says, "I couldn't believe it. I was about to phone the Queen." And I realised he was shitting himself too. So at that night, I was just like,
We're all imposters.
we're all just shitting ourselves.
So this is normal.
And no one is bigger than anybody else. Like, just because you're the Prime Minister, just because you're the Governor-General, just because you're the Mayor or a councillor or a homeless person, no one is more important than anybody else. We're all just humans. And we put this thing on ourselves. And that night, the imposter syndrome broke. I spoke to anybody and everybody. And I think something changed in me that weekend that I just went, it doesn't matter. I mean, do I get intimidated talking to some people? Certainly do. But after a while, you just go, no, it's water off a duck's back.
Yeah, it's genuinely like having a switch to stop giving a fuck, to be honest. And I think there's an art to not giving a fuck, to be honest, especially in today's day and age. I do think I fell into imposter syndrome around October last year.
Right.
And then I literally didn't come out until March. I think it was like a touch of depression, but it was weird. So I was still functional.
Yeah.
Still doing everything, but something wasn't right. I also didn't want to answer the phone. I didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to post I was in real estate. You didn't want to be visible. But I think I came out of it in March. And I don't know how, because I remember Seva, I came in and he could tell I was happier. And he was like, "What'd you do?" I was like, "I just remembered how cool I was." And that's just how simple it can be sometimes. So it's nice to know that he's freaking out too about calling the Queen and higher ups like
it just blew my mind. It really did. And
Yeah.
I remember talking to my wife about it that night, and I said, and you know what? So today I didn't bother. Like, usually I'd see who's in the room and go, okay, I've got to go talk to that person. I've got to say hello to that person. And I went, you know what? I'm just going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at my table. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to talk to my table, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I said, so, I didn't worry about all those other people.
Yeah.
And then she said, Mike, they all came to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. So all those people, I didn't move. They all then came to me and started talking to me. And then I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't even notice. All I knew was I'd made that decision that, I wasn't going to suffer from imposter syndrome because we're all just humans, and thinking that I laid low. And she said, no, all those people came and chatted with you. And I thought that was an interesting interesting thought.
Yeah, I think it's confidence. Obviously, how you carry yourself. You obviously didn't look like you were shitting yourself. I've been gatekeeping this key for a while, to be honest, from from people. But it really is a positive attitude, confidence, and yeah, just not giving a fuck. If you can have all three of those at an event, everyone's going to flock to your table. You don't have to move.
Yeah.
And I think it's refreshing to hear that happens in politics too. But yeah, use that for next time. Don't tell anyone else. Will you be staying with as president, or like how long's your term?
Oh, so look, it's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Look, I'm.
Will you be renewing?
I'm happy to be there as long as people are happy to have me there.
Yeah.
I have a great relationship with our CEO, and we sort of work off each other, and we sort of laugh because it's less complicated than it's ever been. We just decide, let's do this, and we make it happen. People in business and at the Swan Chamber, people will come up to you and go, you should do this. And you probably get it as well, Patti. What you should do. I even had someone at the cafe one time go, you should create a bus service from the cafe to Kalamunda, because all the people that get off the train, they're going to have to wait at your cafe, and you can sell them coffees. And then while they're waiting to get to the bus to Kalamunda, you could do that. And I was like, why don't you do it? Like, if you want to do it, if this is your idea, go for it. So for us, we empower people. So when we have staff when we've got, board members who go, hey, I'd really like to do this, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's our thing. Go for it. What about this? Just do it. Why don't you ask them? Get them involved. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we like to empower people to actually do the things. I don't want to take on more work for myself. I'm happy to do what I do.
You got enough hats.
Yeah, that's right. And so with the chamber is a great blessing because it does open some doors for you.
Yeah.
People want to talk to you about what's going on.
Serious things, community-involved things.
And it's great. And I get to have an opinion on stuff. And people come and ask me for my opinion. I'm just a cafe owner and a dad. That's it.
You're the president of the
That's
Chamber
what I mean.
of Swan.
But, that's all it is. It's
too damn humble.
Yeah. Look, we're just a business organisation. Look, we almost say it's like a business, like it's a club for business people. And look, Patti, there's one thing is when you meet another business owner or another professional, you just get it. And it doesn't matter how big their business is. Like Jerry Hanson has 1,000 employees.
Yeah.
He builds high-rise apartments that are worth $185 million. You have 2 or 3 of those on a go at any one time.
Yeah.
I can have a chat to him about my woes, and he can go, I owe these guys $10 million. And I go, I don't need that mouth ulcer because it's not as bad as what he's going through.
Oh, you know what? My toothache's not that bad.
Yeah, you hear about those things. But there's something about when you meet another business owner, even if it's a candle maker or an electrician or, someone who's got, works in the mining industry, you've got that, there's an instant synergy that, you get it. Because business is tough. Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of got to ride on the momentum. So I guess, would you encourage people in business to connect with other businesses?
100%.
I see a lot of business snobs, and I just don't understand why that is.
Look, I just think there's great value in
collaboration.
In collaboration, but just connecting.
Yeah.
Because, like we sit there and say, look, our networking events or, we do different networking events, sundowners and seminar sessions, and we do lots of different things.
Yeah.
We encourage people, don't just hand your business card out. It's not about trying to win work. Just build relationship because from the relationship, business will come.
Yeah.
And it'll be look, I've been around BNIs before, and I've seen, it's pretty intense. It's like, how many referrals did you get, or how many referrals did you get me? We don't do that.
Yeah.
We actually say, look, to be honest with you, usually I don't even carry a business card because I don't, it's like, there you go. I was like, if you want my information, you'll work it out.
You'll find it.
We can connect. But I do find that if you can go into a sundowner or you can go into some sort of and just build relationship.
Yeah.
Because Patti, today today you might not need anything. Tomorrow you might need something, or your friend needs a venue for their wedding or a seminar. It's like, actually, I know Mike. Go talk to Mike. He's a good dude. And then your verification of me as a good dude
Yeah.
means that person goes, oh, well, Patti is a good dude. I like her.
Yeah.
So he must be a good dude too. And then
Yeah.
you instantly have that rapport. So, yeah, that's what I think the key is there.
Did you ever want to be a public figure? I feel like you keep shying away from the title, which is fine.
I know. I'll own it. I always have.
Yeah.
If you could find my yearbook, it would say, what do you want to be when you're older? I want to be the weather guy.
Yeah. Oh my God, you'd be such a good weather guy.
Yeah, I was like the weather guy. When I was a kid, Tim, whatever his name was, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved it.
You should give us a weekly weather update.
Yeah,
from
maybe
Crooked.
I could. Maybe I could. It's fiery outside. But
Look
yeah,
out, Jeff. Oh no, he's not weather.
Yeah, that's right. But it's that was I love the idea of using your notoriety for good.
Yes.
So I just thought, the thoughts I used to have was if I was a public figure, if I was a celebrity or something along those lines, then I could use that influence to change things and to make things better for people.
Yeah.
That was my thinking behind it.
Yeah. I've kind of adopted something similar on my event promotion page. But yeah, my motivation is just to get everyone into the event cheaper.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Saving people money.
Yeah, great.
But there's a variety of reasons.
Patti sells and you get 10% off. Is that sort of thing?
Yeah, so you literally use my name, but that existed before I jumped into real estate. So I was doing event promotion for like large festivals.
Yep.
It's like Festival X and things like that. You could literally put Patti, but with a Y, not an I. But that's how I keep things separate on socials. So if you tag my Patti with a Y account, it won't come into my real estate stuff, and then I'll look professional because
right.
doof doof doof. And welcome to the 3x2 house. Doesn't mix sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to combine the two. So at what point did you realize being a politician is different to being a business owner?
Yeah. So look, just to differentiate, Swan Chamber of Commerce is apolitical.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a political thing. It is literally just. The Chamber of Commerce sounds really fancy.
Yeah.
It just means it's a business club.
Oh.
In the past, the Chamber of Commerce.
I think this is good clarity for everybody.
Yeah,
because even I didn't know.
Look, you see, in the past, the Chamber of Commerce would be if you had an issue with a legal concern, or you weren't sure how to do things, you would go to a Chamber of Commerce, and they would have advisors to go, well, actually, you need to get a lawyer on this, or you need to do this, or this is how you get around this.
Yeah.
The world's changed.
Yeah.
So you don't need a chamber to do that anymore. So, in my opinion, I mean, we're still advocating for things in the region, and for us, we say Swan is wherever we say it is. We've got members in Bunbury, we've got members in Victoria.
Oh, okay.
And so for us, our focus is the eastern corridor of Perth. So we're saying anywhere from the airport east into the hills, everywhere, we want to have that influence. We're not bound by political boundaries because we're not political. We are just business owners who want to impact the decision makers. And the more members we have, the more impact we can have with the decision makers because they listen to us.
Yeah.
So if I've got 300 members, a politician will go, hey, Mike, we want to connect with the business community. How do we do that?
Yeah.
Or we've got this concern. Can you come and speak on this? And so that's where that side comes in. For me, the political side came in was when I ran as the Liberal candidate for Midland.
Gotcha. That's where I'm getting confused.
Yes. So with that was a wild ride because I'd never been part of a political party before.
Yeah.
And I had some people from the Liberal Party approach me about a year prior and said, you should do it. And I was really flattered. And I had to work out if it was an ego thing or if it was something I actually wanted to do. And so I left it for a few months and they said, Mike, we really think you should do it. And, you're passionate about the area. We think you can, have a good crack. And I thought about it for a while and I had different people would call me from time to time, different people in the political realm or business realm. Yep. And I think they were all conspiring against me to get me to run. And it wasn't until I was at a fundraiser at a Melbourne Cup for a Melbourne Cup event. I've never gotten into the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. So I leant over to the guy who asked me, I said, all right, I'm in. And he goes, are you a member? I went, nah. He goes, well, it takes a month to become a member. So it's November through to December. So I became a member in December. Then the process with the Liberal Party is you have to then do a presentation at the branch. The branch then votes. They want you to be their member? So it wasn't until January that we got endorsed, and then the election was in March. So we had 7 weeks from announcing that I was the candidate to running, and in that time, it was a crazy ride.
Yeah.
The result, I was running in a safe Labor seat that had been safe Labor for 30 years.
Jesus.
And I 100%.
Sorry, what does safe Labor mean?
So, as in they've always won it, and they've won it by a huge margin every time. So this area, for the ALP, like the Labor Party, they've won that same seat for 30 years.
Jesus.
So for me, I came into it going, well, look, I'm not really a politician. I've got a mullet. My opening announcement, only once did I put it on the Crooked Spire page to say I'm running as a candidate, and we need to see a mullet in Parliament. And then that video got 20,000 views or whatever. It got picked up by Channel 9. Yeah. The Liberal Party asked me to speak at their statewide campaign launch. It was me, Basil Zemplis and Libby Medham.
Yeah.
And I'd only just joined the party 2 months earlier. And I'm speaking in front of everyone. And then all the TV stations there, SBS 910, The West, everything. And I'm at the front wearing my Midland is the new Dalkeith T-shirt and going... And as I walked up, they played AC/DC, and I leant over to the MC and went, I'm not a bogan, right? And she goes, just lean into it, love. So I walk on the stage and I'm like to big thunderous applause. Yeah. And my opening line, just made up of the spot, was, I've been a member for 2.5 months and I'm happy to be here.
Nice.
And that's what they quoted in the paper, in the Australian. And I was like, what? This is nuts. And so we had the most amazing social media presence. We got attacked on Reddit. I got a random call one night where some guy goes, I don't live in the electorate, but I'd vote for you. He goes, but what they're doing on Reddit's not cool. And I was like, there was 800 comments. Yeah. And they're going, only guy in Midland wearing a shirt, owns a shirt and a blazer. And then they go, there's a courthouse there. And he goes, yeah, but the judge doesn't count. I got accused of doing horrendous things to my female staff members behind the counter.
God.
There's lies they made up. And it just went crazy. But then every week I kept getting played on Channel 9. We had an old lady call me at 3 a.m, and I shared her video, and she goes, I think our politicians should have nice, neat hair like Mr. Cook. And so I shared that. And it was like 3 a.m. She's leaving messages on my phone.
Oh, God.
So it was great, and we kept that momentum going. In the end, I fully believed that a rank outsider from the safe Labor seat of Midland could do this, and I was wrong. I ran for 7 weeks. We got a 15% swing in our direction, and we were still 10% short. So we were close, but not close enough.
Fair enough. What a journey.
It was.
I guess looking back at it, would you do it again?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. You know what? It was at the end of it, I was rocking in a corner for 3 months. It was exhausting because you put everything into it. Yeah. And people are throwing grenades at you constantly. And you're like the guy in the Matrix. You're dodging all the bullets. Yeah. But there's no time to stop. You just got to keep going. Yeah. And I had the most beautiful team. It was just a couple of other people who didn't have the political experience. And the Liberal Party was so understaffed, they just let us do what we wanted. Yeah. So we were making decisions and saying, and other candidates going, how'd you get that approved? And we're like going, didn't know.
What do you mean?
We did. We had no idea you had to get that stuff approved. Yeah. But look, we did.
Is that social media related or?
Social media, everything. Even like campaign launch.
I thought your Mike for Midland page was a bit loose.
But you know what? They leaned into it. They let me speak at their launch. But we had we had some great coverage and great opportunities, and it's very addictive. Like the whole thing is so fast, everything's
the chaos.
moving. But then it just stops. Done. And you're just sitting at home on Sunday, you've lost, had a sleep. I called my campaign manager. What are you up to? Oh, she goes, I've just had a sleep, had a cry, had another sleep. Yeah, me too. And then you miss these guys because you're doing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're in constant dialogue with these guys, and then it just stops.
think you just trauma bonded.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. But at the same time, it's very addictive.
Right.
It's really addictive.
And I guess, would you say a huge takeaway from that is realizing that publicity is still publicity?
It still affects you.
Yeah.
Like it is like it feels horrible. And it wasn't until our recent furor
I
that
say it would have fueled your imposter syndrome too.
yeah, possibly. Part of it is when you're in it, you're also just like, no F's given
Yeah.
sort of thing, right? You're like, oh well, I'm all in now. What are they going to do?
Yeah, fire me.
It's what you're going to do, right? And so you forget. Like I've forgotten what that felt like.
Yeah.
I was reminded last week.
Okay. Right. I guess while we're there, you might have some air to clear. I saw, and I was there for a couple of your events, and I think I do speak highly to your venue hire now. Well, I was before this, but now especially because you got some good coverage. But Crooked Spire hosted some events involving people from some different political backgrounds, including Basil Zemplis and Pauline Hanson. Some people have interpreted that as an endorsement. How do you respond to that?
You see, this actually is a discussion on leadership. So, leadership is not only listening to people who align with your values or your views. Leadership is listening to those people who you don't agree with, having discourse, having discussion, and then actually forming your own ideas.
Correct.
And so. We held the One Nation Sundowner here in Western Australia. We had 350 guests. We also had 400 guests across the road who were protesting.
Yeah.
Now, somewhere along the way, because we hosted this voice, and Pauline Hanson actually attended herself, because we hosted her in our venue, which is what we do. We're a venue hire. We're
Correct.
a cafe with a function centre.
Business as usual.
Yes, it's business as usual. It was a great money earner, and can I tell you, they never once negotiated the price. I told them, "Yep, great, excellent, thank you." So they're actually a great client. They held their event there. Inside, the juxtaposition between what was happening inside versus outside was chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Inside, they were having the best. They were having the time of their lives.
Yeah.
Pauline came in. She,
The food did look good.
the food was fantastic. The service was great.
Me and Jeff Parry were stuck outside.
I should have brought you a plate.
Yeah.
And so inside, it was lovely, and they had the time of their lives. And I got so many thanks from the punters there, and they were just people. They weren't politicians. They were just
Correct.
the people who wanted to be at her sundowner and paid a ticket to be there. The
Correct.
people on the outside were screaming against hate and bigotry and those sort of things. What I found totally ironic is those same people who are against hate and intolerance have bombarded me with hate and intolerance. All I did was host someone at my venue, and I've got emails of people saying, "You're cancelled. How dare you? I was disappointed to see that your values align with this." My values don't align with anyone we hire a venue to. I mean, we had the Calisthenics Association of Western Australia there with 200 kids on Saturday night.
Yeah.
My values are not associated with the Calisthenics Association of Western Australia. Although they had a great time, they loved the venue and the chips and nuggets. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I saw you host like an elderly bingo or something similar with regards to that. That also popped off. They're not talking about that.
Absolutely. Look, we've had a lot of politicians over the years, Labor, Liberal. We've had a lot of Swan Chamber events there. We've had parties. The only event I've ever rejected, and I didn't reject the event, I reject the entertainment. They asked if they could have a stripper there.
Oh, okay.
And I said, sorry, you can't have a stripper at our venue.
So Mike's a hater.
Yeah, I'm a hater, sorry. So I said, no stripper at the venue.
Yeah.
Look, they did a workaround. They didn't tell me.
Yeah.
They had a topless waitress come in and serve drinks.
Fair enough.
Now, I was working that
That's
night,
cool.
so
Yeah.
I just didn't know where to look.
Oh, you were conveniently rostered on that.
I was rostered on. But to be honest with you, a young lady came and said, "Oh, could you put my bag back here?" And I didn't know where to look, so I was like, "Yeah, sure," and then just left. I couldn't handle it.
That cracks me up.
For us, I really want to lean into doing some great events at our event space.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of like tribute shows. We've got Little River Band there.
Cool.
I'm trying to find someone to do a toddler rave. I love the idea of
Who's
having.
doing that? Spudshed's doing that.
they're doing a little rave. I don't think it's a toddler rave.
It's children's rave.
Oh,
But they're only
cool.
doing their second round. Jump on their page to have a look. 'Cause I only just saw this the other day because I'm trying to get Tony.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of weeks, I reckon. They're launching the Waterford Spud Shed on Thursday. And so they're doing a rave from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Tony Gallardi's going to be the DJ.
Oh, great.
With an actual DJ
Cool.
as well, because, stay in your lane, Tony.
He's a grower.
He's a grower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tickets were 99 cents, and
Oh,
that was their
wow.
marketing ploy. And so
Awesome.
it sold out in about 24 hours, and that's this Thursday. I'm going to do, Crooked Spire vibes, crack a home open. I think the age range in the crowd's going to be mixed.
Great,
So
yeah.
I think Spud Shed have also they're trying to diversify their reach and their audience, right? So when you think about the Spud Shed audience, you think, plus 40s. Potentially.
Oh, no, look, I've got teenagers.
Yeah.
They love it.
Well, that's because of, all their marketing ploys. Tony's got a really crazy good marketing team at the moment that I think are doing all the right things. He did a collaboration with Street X. Shout out, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Greasy smoothie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
He's been on the pod, not my pod.
Yeah.
Dan.
Have you seen that clip of Tony Gallardi walking through Milan in his usual attire, like shorts and his sleeve, and just the Italians like, what the heck? That's the best. I love that.
He's so real, and I think his team's doing a really good job on capturing him and humanising him.
Yeah. So look, we want to do a toddler rave.
Yeah.
Also like a K-pop event as well. Like I love that idea. My niece just performed in one that was here.
Do you need DJs?
On the
I got
weekend?
DJs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So look, looking for a good toddler rave DJ.
Cool.
So if you know someone, let's hook us up.
Well, the best one there is, I think they've started it as like a franchise. I don't know if do you remember Justice Crew?
Yeah, of course.
And then on theirs was the twins. I think they were Maori boys.
Yep.
Sorry if you see this and you're not Maori, you look like one of me. You look like a cousin. And one has gone in to be the Purple Wiggle.
Oh,
and then
get out.
the other twin is
John the Purple Wiggle.
Yeah.
See, I know all the Wiggles because I've got a 2-year-old. So.
Whatever. That's what you do on your spare
Yeah.
time. But no, Icons are the Wiggles. And the other one has gone on to do toddler raves, I think heavily influenced by his brother. And then they can feed into each other, right?
Awesome.
So if you get sick of the Wiggles, take your baby to a baby rave.
Yeah. Is that the guy with the massive long ponytail?
Yeah.
I actually look. I reached out to him trying to get him to to do it.
Cool.
But I haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, let me try reach out too.
Yeah,
Let's
please.
see. Because that'd be so cool. I'd love
Yeah.
to cover that. And I'll bring Mike. Oh, yeah, I've still got a toddler. He's 5.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. And then the 7-year-old, the 10-year-old would be into the K-pop one though. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
look,
should
I
go into
love that idea. And look, we're doing.
Do you have a bar?
We usually set up a bar for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because, I've got a few rappers
Yeah, great.
that are looking to kick off and do like a launch party for them.
Perfect. We can do that for sure.
Cool. All right. I'll tell them.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most underrated suburb in WA aside from Midland?
Okay, most underrated.
Where should we be
suburb.
investing, Mike?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Look, I live in Henley Brook, in the Swan Valley. So the Swan Valley's stunning, and you've got pockets of the small new developments where the large homes like 400 square meters. We live on 5 acres, and so there's some great pockets through the Swan Valley and the Perth Hills that are absolutely stunning, and I'd definitely check out those spots.
So I guess my closing question was, you've spent literal years building businesses, helping the community and leading organisations and even running for Parliament. No?
Yep. We had a crack.
If Midland was sitting in this room right now, what's the one thing you'd want it to know about its future?
I think the future's bright.
For Midland,
yeah. Look, I think Midland has been a forgotten suburb in Perth, and there's something beautiful about the eclectic nature of the place. The Italians that grew up there and landed and somehow started in Midland, the people from the railway workshops. It's a medical precinct. If you want to buy $1 million car right now, you can buy one at Carco in Midland. Yeah. We've got great things there, but I think it's been forgotten, and I'd love to see it sort of come back to life.
Beautiful. Because, yeah, it's going to be a bright future for Midland. So what have you got on the table for us?
Well, I got you a little gift. Look, I'm a Freo boy, so born and raised in Freo.
My husband's going to hate that.
Yeah. So look, this has got nothing to do with the AFL. It's
Yeah.
just a beanie that says Midland, and it happens to be in the OG Freo Dockers colours. Go Freo.
Yeah.
Look. There's obviously a bandwagon driving past right now, and it's time to jump on it. But we've got these great beanies. I'd love to gift it to you. It's Midland represent.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's Crooked Spire, and
Eat your heart out, Midland dog.
that's it. And soon
What's
to
his name? The guy
Who's
who
that?
says Midland dog. He's got a name.
Oh, I
Mad
don't-
Dog?
No, we don't talk about Mad Dog.
Oh, fair
Mad
enough.
Dog is his name's Adrian.
Oh, okay.
and,
Sorry, Adrian.
He cops a lot of abuse and that sort of
Oh.
stuff. People scream at him and stuff. In saying that, he's been screaming at everyone for years.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, sounds like karma.
he's not the one that says Midland Dog. That was another guy.
Okay.
But we've got some famous. We've got obviously Nick Nat, who's from Midland, and Sonny, Sun. A Midland local as well.
And who's that girl with the red hair? She was with Sacha Baron Cohen.
Pauline Hanson.
No.
She was in Midland. Don't I know it?
No.
Isla Fisher.
Yes, she's a Midland girl.
Is she?
Yeah, she's from Midland.
Not sure. I knew she was from Perth. I didn't
I'm
know
pretty
she
sure
was from
she's
Middo.
Midland born.
There you go. Middo represent.
Yeah.
Midland dog.
Yeah,
Shout out to
she's-
Sonny.
That's going to be our photo, I reckon, for the coming soon. All right, rapid fire.
Ooh.
Best coffee in Perth besides your own?
2 Keys Coffee in Leadville.
Good answer. Most underrated suburb in WA?
Midland.
Yeah, fair enough. Other than Midland.
Henley Brook.
Nice. One person doing great things in Midland that deserves more recognition?
Lauren Pratt. He runs Midland Meals 7 days a week feeding the homeless, doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, you taught me about that. I didn't know that was happening. I need to get involved in that. Biggest business myth?
Business is easy.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Building business is even easier. That's the bigger myth. One decision you'd undo if you could?
No, I don't live there. I don't do that. So
You don't undo things?
I don't. I've got to own it. You've got to own what you do, and I think you can't change it. So I just don't live in that space. I don't think about what I wish I could undo.
Fair enough. I guess last one. What's next for Mike Matich?
What's next? I'm not too sure. I think we've got a great business in Midland. Want to keep pushing that. Want to keep encouraging other business owners and encouraging people to make a difference in their communities. And I just want to see my kids grow up and do fantastic.
Shout out, kids. I'm sure you drive Dad crazy.
You certainly do.
Gorgeous. Well, on that note, I've really enjoyed and appreciated your wisdom and your keys. I feel really lucky to have had you on, Mike. Seriously.
Thanks, Patti. Appreciate the invite.
Would you mind signing us off, please?
Well, look, I'm Mike Matich. I'm from Crooked Spire Coffee and Art House in Midland. Make sure you come along. We've got fantastic coffee, great space, great venue. Come and check it out. We'd love to see you. You can find me on social media at Crooked Spire Coffee House on all the platforms. Mike for Midland on Instagram, and on LinkedIn, just search for Mike Matich. We've also got a little one in the Swan Valley on a great park so you can bring the kids. See you soon.